Hello, friends. Welcome to another virtual Athenaeum lesson. I'm Mrs. Sprinkle, and today we're going to be talking about pen pals. I wanted to ask you, how do you keep in touch with your friends and family? If they live nearby, maybe you go to visit them, or you might even talk on the phone. We're really used to seeing our friends at school, seeing those relatives who live nearby all the time, right? But what about your friends and relatives who live far away, or maybe you can't go to visit very often? Maybe then you still talk on the phone, or you can even do video chats. I've been doing a lot of those lately. Sometimes we have to rely on technology for much of our communications. I know I'm thankful for the technology we have right now because it's allowing me to talk with all of you. Long before technology gave us the ability to interact on a computer screen, friends and loved ones still found ways to be connected. Do you know who John Adams is? You're right. He was the second president of the United States, and he played a very, very important role in leading America in her quest from independence from Great Britain. So John Adams grew up on a farm, and he later became a lawyer. He knew deep, deep in his heart that America should be free, and he was a man who was not afraid to speak his mind. He gave speeches that inspired and challenged minds of his fellow patriots. A patriot is someone who loves his country. He was a man who also loved words. One can hardly mention John Adams without also mentioning his wife, Abigail. John and Abigail loved each other so very much, and they had the same dream of independence for the colonies. Because they shared this dream, they had to spend many, many, many days and months apart from each other while John went back and forth to Philadelphia and even across the ocean to Europe to work to gain independence. That took a lot of courage and perseverance, didn't it? They didn't have a phone or a tablet or a computer or any way to call and say hello. What do you suppose they did? I'll tell you. They wrote over 1,000 letters to each other. Did you hear what I said? 1,000 letters! Letters were the only way to communicate then. Their letters became some of the most famous in the world and are still read by people today, even 250 years later. Abigail would write, wondering if generations of Americans to come would ever understand the sacrifices they had to make for the independence. Abigail was John's strength when he had to stand up for what was right, even if it wasn't popular. He felt a deep sense of responsibility to the colonies, and Abigail's letters offered him kindness and support and showed how much he loved and trusted her opinion and advice. So they weren't just husband and wife, they also had a great friendship. One of Abigail's letters read, "These are times in which a genius would wish to live. It is not in the sweet calm of life or in the response of a Pacific station that great characters are formed. The habits of a vigorous mind are formed in contending with difficulties. Great necessities call out great virtues. When a mind is raised and animated by the scenes that engage the heart, then those qualities which would otherwise lay dormant walk into life and form the character of the hero and the statesman." Those are some pretty wise words by Abigail, aren't they? And John wrote, "Human nature, with all its infirmities and deprivation, is still capable of great things. It is capable of attaining to degrees of wisdom and goodness. The virtues and powers to which all may be trained by early education and constant discipline are truly sublime and astonishing." Letters can be a wonderful way to share our thoughts and ideas with someone we love and trust, and they can be read again and again. Often we call someone we share letters with a pen pal. Do you guys have a pen pal? Would you like one? Maybe you can reach out and talk to a relative who lives far away, even one of your friends who lives here. You can talk to them and see about becoming pen pals and sending letters back and forth. My son, he's going into 6th grade. He is pen pals with my aunt who lives in Illinois. So they write letters back and forth, and they talk about what's been going on in their lives. So spend some time today thinking about who you would like to send a letter to. If I was your pen pal, this is what I would say to you today. Here's the letter I wrote to you guys. I decorated it with some tape to keep it closed and some stickers and just some stars and drawing. My letter would read, first I put the date on it so you knew when I was writing it. And it says, "My dearest friend, I hope this finds you well and you are having a wonderful summer full of laughs and fun. I look forward to hearing all about it when we return to school. Sincerely yours, Mrs. Sprinkle." So friends, I would love to hear from you. If you want to, you can send me a letter and your parents can mail it to the school for me to read. I really would love to hear from you, or you can even just send me a note down below if you're watching on Facebook. So I just have a piece of plain notebook paper like you guys use in school, but often when John and Abigail would write their letters, they were on pretty stationery like these, and they would always use their very best penmanship. So there's one really cool piece of paper. And then here's another one. Isn't that awesome? It's such an old fancy piece of paper. I love these. So when you decide who you're going to write to, perhaps you want to take some time to design your paper so it can look extra special. Whoever is receiving your letter will enjoy your artwork and your creativity. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. I appreciate that you spent your time watching this, and I hope you get to find a pen pal that you can write back and forth to for years to come. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a great day.